Alright, listen up everyone. They've announced that the technical regulations are changing for next season. Now there's a risk a lot of our hard work could be undone if we're not careful, so let's figure out how to mitigate this. Drivers, take a look at the developments we have and let us know what you want to invest in protecting. Alright everyone, let's get on top of this.
What's going on, guys? It's Luke22SV here, and welcome back to the 15th round of the Season 2 of the Mick Schumacher career mode. And as you can see, we've got some regulation changes again going into next season of Season 3 of this Mick Schumacher career mode. We're just about to find out what those are, and it's going to be engine and durability. So chassis and aero for Season 1, engine and durability for Season 2. So that's going to be something we have to look to fix towards next season then. Should we say at Sauber as well? We may end up moving on at the end of the season, which we do not know yet. We obviously, as ourselves being Schumacher, Schumacher's son, of course, we'd be looking to chase that Ferrari seat and potentially join them next season. But we may not actually continue this career mode going into Season 3. We're probably just going to end it after this season and then look towards perhaps doing a few things before F1 2019 comes out. And then we'll do a career mode on F1 2019. But there you can see all the well, we had some new upgrades as well coming into this weekend, so we're second at the moment. We're right up there with Renault and Red Bull, and everyone else is just starting to stagnate as well a little. Everyone going in straight lines now as we head into qualifying for the Singapore Grand Prix with such a healthy lead in the drivers' standings now. It could all turn around this weekend. We don't know how it's going to play out yet as we head into qualifying. A difficult track, of course, probably the most difficult on the calendar, up there with Baku and Monaco. Very easy to put the car in the wall, and very hard to keep your concentration for the entire duration of the race as well. It is our qualifying lap, our only qualifying lap. We tend to just do one run in qualifying and tends to be fairly good enough. We've had a few pole positions in the last couple of races, but today it's going to be a little bit more difficult with Red Bull, the car that suits their car around here. Ferrari will be on form, and my teammate will be on form as well. Not an easy track to stand up to against AI. They tend to be a little bit better around Singapore than the usual other tracks. But here we are on our lap. This is I thought this was a good lap, but we're about to see how well it does. A little bit over on that curb, which slowed us down on the exit. Not the best exit, and then we come through what used to be the Singapore sling, just a little left-hander, a bit boring now. But yeah, almost into the wall there. Getting so close, but just about close enough that you don't hit the wall. And just one of my least favourite corners on this track, just gets such a poor exit out of this corner every time. And come up to the last part of this section of this track with a few right-hander and then a left-hander going through the tunnels and everything like that. It's a very good end to this lap, and it's very we see a lot of cars put it into the wall as well towards this part of the track. At this corner here, we see a few cars bin it in qualifying and the race, but we managed to get through that section nice and cleanly, and we come through the last few corners, and now we're going to cross the line and see where this lap time puts us, and hopefully it'll be towards the front of the grid in the first couple of rows as we go across the line now. And we get the DRS open, and we're in provisional pole ahead of Daniel Ricciardo and Sebastian Vettel. So we decide to end the lap time and the session with that. Hopefully that's going to be good enough for P1 or something or there or thereabouts. But no, it's only good enough for P7. But our teammate is in P1. Both the Red Bulls in P2 and P3. So Red Bull looking strong as we'd expect around this track. Hulkenberg, Hamilton, and then Raikkonen and Vettel having a poor day in the Ferrari for some reason. Sainz not living up to what Renault should perhaps be doing around this track, because Hulkenberg's up there in P4 and Sainz is 10 places behind him. So going into the race then, we're in P7. Could be worse, but it could be better as well. Hopefully we can make up some positions in the race, and hopefully we can come home with some decent points and maybe not lose too many points to our teammate in this title fight. We've got a fair decent buffer at the moment, so we just got to be careful. And hopefully we just got to keep it out of the wall. And coming into this race then, no wet weather, so we don't have to worry about that. Go on to the grid order for the Singapore Grand Prix. Here we go, we've got Charles Leclerc on pole, Daniel Ricciardo second, so Sauber fairly good in qualifying over the last few races. We've got a fair amount of pole positions. Tend to be the best car at the moment with Verstappen and Hulkenberg on row 2, followed by Hamilton, Raikkonen, ourselves, Sergio Perez, Bottas, Ocon, Gasly, and then Vettel, and then Alonso and Sainz on row 7, both the Spaniards, and then Hartley, and then Grosjean, Van Dorn, Magnussen and both the Williams rounding up the back row, as they have many times this season in this career mode as well. So then let's head on to the race then for the Singapore Grand Prix, where we head on to those 5 red lights to start this race off from 7th on the grid. What's going to happen in this race is lights out and away we go, and we go straight to the left straight away. And you can see we cover off this fast starting Force India, and Bottas now goes to the outside, and we can see everyone getting through turn 1 nice and cleanly. We dive down the inside of Lewis Hamilton into turn 2, get on the curb. Hamilton gets a little bit better of an exit out of turn 2. We're side by side going up to the next few corners. He's still ahead of us, but we're looking to cut back underneath. And now the main overtaking opportunity on this track, heading down towards his main DRS straight. See if we can get past Hamilton into the next corner, left-hander as we brake, and Bottas hits up from behind, and we're in a half spin. Luckily for us, we get away with it and we're not in too much trouble, but Bottas hitting us up from behind there, so we're still in P7, so no harm done for us, but Bottas losing a bit of his front wing, so dangerous driving from Bottas. I don't know why he just ran straight into the back of us. We're looking behind, but it looks like Gasly's going to get past him as well, so Bottas with the front wing damage now. He's going to be struggling, particularly around a track where you need your front wing. And Bottas, just a rookie error on lap 1 from him, driving clean into the back of us. But we're just making sure we got a boost and everything set to right settings. And now we're coming towards the end of this lap, but we're going to be in P7. We're staying in our position that we started in, but Raikkonen getting a better start than Hamilton in the end. Hamilton losing the position, and we stay in P7. Gasly getting a good start from, I think, wherever he was on the grid. But we're at P7 at the end of lap 1 then. And we'll have a little look at the replay of the start and see what happened with Valtteri Bottas. And hopefully we can continue, and hopefully we haven't spoiled our race too much from here, so that we can look forward and catch up the guys in front of us. That's Leclerc leading the way after lap 1, doing a good solid job after he put it on pole. He's looking very strong this weekend. But here's the replay of the start. We move straight to the right, and straight to the left, I should say. Both the Force Indians going down the middle into turn 1. You see we go through turn 1. Bottas looking to get past us almost in turn 1 and turn 2. But then we're looking towards his teammate Hamilton as we get on the exit, and Hamilton just getting a better launch out of turn 2. Or turn 3, I think it is. But it's basically the second corner. But Leclerc leading the way from Ricciardo, and then Verstappen, and then Hülkenberg. So our 2 main rivals at the front then in this season. And then you can see just Bottas, who just hits us up from behind and then hits us again. And the second time he hit us actually kind of helped us just get in the right direction and help us carry on with the race. And no harm was done for our part, but a little bit of harm done to Bottas in his front wing. And well, here it is from his view, just going towards the next corner. He just braking too late. Perhaps we braked too early, but he just hit us twice. And he loses a little bit of his front wing, and now Gasly also gets past him for good measure as well. So disappointment from Valtteri Bottas. Tends to be not had the best time on his career mode, and now we're actually behind Lewis Hamilton at the start of lap 2. So Hamilton has been much better on his career mode, particularly in season 2, winning in the car that's just not been anywhere near enough the front of the order in Bahrain, I think it was, where Hamilton won. But we're now behind him. And there's a few Red Bulls battling in front of us, and that's, well, I think it's Verstappen and Hülkenberg fighting. And now we spot our opportunity to dive down the inside of Hamilton. An unexpected move, but we make it stick, and we're up into P6. So we've got to make those kind of moves to win this championship, and that's what we've done. We managed to get past Lewis Hamilton, but he's now going to be looking to get back past us into the next left-hander, and almost gets through, but just leaving him just a little room as possible for him. And we managed to stay in P6 for the time being. And now we've got Raikkonen ahead of us, who's got Hülkenberg, and Max Verstappen, who's got past. Well, we've managed to stay ahead of Hülkenberg. Ricciardo's down the road ahead of us, and well, it looks like he's going to be trying to chase hold of Charles Leclerc. But now our main focus at this point is just trying to keep hold of Raikkonen. These hypersofts, as many people will know, at Singapore, tend to boil over pretty much temperature-wise after a few laps. I think they fixed it in a recent patch, but it's still not perfect, and these hypersofts are just going to go crazy high in temperature by lap 4 or so. So we're probably thinking about pitting early at this stage, just trying to get the undercut. Even then, the ultra softs aren't much better around this track. It was a bit frustrating coming to these kind of tracks like Singapore, and where the hyper softs are always there. But we're now really close to Raikkonen, thinking about almost making a move round turn 3. But Raikkonen managed to stay ahead for the time being. And now we go to the DRS zone. Can we get DRS? Although the guys in front of us will have DRS on each other. So kind of Constantina's up a bit and everyone just stagnates. But if we can get a move like we did like our last lap on Hamilton into the next corner, which we're thinking about, as you can see, we're close enough to Raikkonen. Are we going to dive down the inside of him in this corner? Yes, we do. So we dive down the inside of Raikkonen, lock up a little bit, and Raikkonen's in the wall, so he's lost his front wing. So that didn't come off too well with Raikkonen. As someone we've had a few run-ins with this season, and now he's had another one, and now he's out of the race. He's hit the wall on the exit of that corner. So Raikkonen is out of this race, and there's another car, 18 cars now in this race. So someone else has kind of run into him. Now we're down to 16 all of a sudden. So there's literally just chaos has just happened since that incident with myself and Raikkonen. And now he's out of the race, and there's 3 other cars out of the race. So we'll see what comes up on our screen in just a second, who is out of this race and why. And then we'll see Raikkonen obviously is out of this race, losing his front wing and then binning it into the wall. Sergio Perez out of the race as well. Disappointment for him. And we'll find out who did this. It's Sebastian Vettel. So both Ferraris are out of the race, and Gasly as well after his good start. He's also out of the race. So a complete disaster for Pierre Gasly, and both Ferraris again having a pointless race. So here's the replay then. We're down the inside of Raikkonen, and he's just locking it. He just doesn't turn out of it. I mean, in real life situation, I think he would have turned out of it, then turned back in like a normal driver would have. But the AI just decided, I'm going to turn in anyway, even though there's another car there. And well, Perez runs straight into the back of him, and then Gasly runs into the back of him, and Vettel, he cuts away, but Vettel runs straight into the back of him as well. And then we can see the on-board from Raikkonen. He just locks his wheel. He should just turn out of it and then turn back in, and then he'll lose a position, but he won't be out of this race. And then AI coding again. Why did he run into the wall there? Now he's out of the race. So Raikkonen out of the race, and then Perez comes in at full speed, and Gasly comes in at full speed. So I mean, AI code, and then Vettel comes in at full speed as well. And here's the replay of Sebastian Vettel just coming in, and yeah, I mean, AI coding, they need to have a look at that. But for the time being, there's 4 cars out of the race thanks to that now. And now we come into the pits to fit on these ultra soft tyres, and hopefully we're going to be able to get the undercut on the guys ahead. Well, this is lap 3. We're on lap 4 now because we've crossed the start finish line. And well, here we go. We're going to be on the ultra soft tyres, and we've just got to put in some fast laps now. Hopefully catch up to the guys ahead and take these hopefully take the position off of Max Verstappen and maybe Nico Hülkenberg as well. But we don't have to worry about Kimi Raikkonen anymore because he binned it into the wall, and both Ferraris are going to be pointless again. And here we are. We've just got to get these ultra soft tyres up to temperature. But coming on to lap 5 now. We got them up to temperature. We're posting in some fast laps. We're going as quickly as possible and catching up to hopefully these guys are going to be pitting at the end of this lap. So this will be where we find out whether we can get ahead of Charles Leclerc or anyone else that's behind him as our teammates into the pits now. Coming into the next corner, and we're going to brake, and we're just going to run out of shape, and we're out of the race, into the wall, and we're out of the race, out of the Singapore Grand Prix, and it's a complete disaster. And well, it was always going to happen. We could have easily just thrown the race. Here's the replay again, just braking too late, and we just outbrake ourselves, and then we're a passenger. We just can't help ourselves. We're in the wall, and we're out of the Singapore Grand Prix, and it's just the worst case scenario has happened when we just thrown away points, and now our teammates at the front, and he could potentially be taking away 25 points from our championship lead, which is going to be a complete disaster. Surely we can't bottle this championship now, as our Frederic Vasseur doing his usual animation there. Every time he wins, he's getting used to doing that. And Charles Leclerc winning the race then. But we've just got to hope that Daniel Ricciardo wasn't second, because that'll just add the icing to the cake. Where you can see Max, well, yeah, looks like both the Red Bulls are on the podium. So, yeah, not ideal for us. It's a huge disaster. Both our championship, well, all 3 of them pretty much. Verstappen's still in the championship contention. He gets P3. And there you can see Leclerc has won the race, and we'll see what happens with the championship now. You can see Sainz got up to P6 in the end. Ocon P7. Hartley getting some points, and Bottas recovered to P10 in the end after his front wing problems. And well, there's only 15 finishers, so there you can see myself, Gasly, and Vettel, and Perez, and Raikkonen all out of this race. We got a 28-point lead to Leclerc and 29 to Ricciardo. So Leclerc is now our closest competitor, and Hamilton's gained on Vettel. And then here we can see we got a 42-point lead over Red Bull still. Well, it might be 62. I can't quite see from here, but we've still got a substantial lead over Red Bull in the standings, so we're happy with that. But driver standings, we've got to watch out now. We've got to be careful. We'll find out how we do in Russia in 2 days' time. So hopefully you'll be there for me then. I'll like and subscribe, and I'll see you soon.